Kirby Smart All Access is presented by Georgia's own credit union. Bank, borrow, invest. Also brought to you by Georgia Lottery. Closed captioning of Kirby Smart All Access is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Let's go places.
Here at Georgia, we are proud of our current student athletes, as well as our former student athletes. Our halls are adorned with images of some of the UGA greats through the years. One of those men is Benjamin Watson. He played here from 2001 to 2004 and has gone on to a successful career in the NFL. Beyond his success on the field, Watson has recently found success as an author of Under Our Skin. It is such a significant book for our time, and we are proud that one of Georgia's own is bringing light to an important issue.
It is often said that we are all one choice away from a completely different life. Benjamin Watson made a decision after his freshman year in college that changed the path of his life forever.
I graduated high school in 1999 and had a desire to go into engineering possibly, so I looked at Duke, looked at Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, a couple other schools, and just felt like I wanted to get the education that Duke offers. So I ended up going to Duke. They had a new coach. Everybody was excited about the new year, the possibilities of what that might bring as far as football goes. And I went there, and I just wasn't really happy. Was kind of jaded as far as football goes. I loved the school, enjoyed everything about it, but felt like that wasn't the place I wanted to stay. And so I ended up looking at Georgia and Virginia Tech. Just took a visit to Virginia Tech, then I went to Georgia and I knew that it was Georgia. I just felt a feeling that it was home. I prayed a lot about it and really just felt led to go to the University of Georgia.
That decision began a series of events that helped mold Watson into the man he is today.
I think Georgia is where we found our not where we found it, but we found our passion together for serving others. So even as we were not dating, but just really good friends, like our first date was going to Snelling and having a Philly cheesesteak. But we committed to every Wednesday night going and serving in the community. And it wasn't anything that was a lot of pomp and circle. It wasn't everyone knew. It was just something that we did together and that we were committed to doing while we were in school. And so I think that has set for us, it has set the path for us realizing the importance of giving back, the importance of serving where you live, and the importance of understanding the platform. And we got to do that together. And so that now 12 years later, from when we first met each other, 13, 14 years later, it's still about who we are. It's a major part of who we are in terms of what we want the legacy we want for our kids, to give back, to serve people, to be there for people, to understand that our purpose on this earth is not just about us and us being comfortable and it's not even about that. It's about using what God has given us to give back to His kingdom.
Benjamin and Kirsten found each other and found their purpose and mission for their life together while in Athens. But that was only just the beginning. After graduating from Georgia with a degree in finance, Watson had a long and productive career in the NFL. But he has always made family his number one priority.
One thing I know in this game of football, you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have media, fans who may love you one second and not the next. But family has always been supportive of me. And especially in my faith walk, I've been able to, all my grandparents and my cousins are not all believers, but I have a praying grandmother, 2 praying grandmothers. My grandfather became a believer later in his life. And so there is a tradition there that I've kind of inherited. And I think it's very important when it comes to family to pass those things on to your kids. So now as a father, I look and see the things that my dad did for me. My father is my hero. He's always been my hero, even to this day. I still don't think I can beat him up, and he's 60. But he's always been my hero. He's always been the man in my life that I measured myself by, and I want to be that for my kids. I want my daughters to leave this house and to measure every man that comes into their life by their father. Can you treat me better than my daddy? You know, if he can't, get him out of here. You know, I want my sons to treat their wives, their girlfriends like I treat my wife. And that's very imperfectly, but I want to set the standard for them to take it a notch higher. I want them to, when they have kids, to say, yeah, I remember my dad doing this or that with us. I remember him teaching me that. Now I'm going to teach this to you because what my dad taught to me. I want them to always feel supported and to always know that daddy's there. One of the most important things for a child, I think, is when it comes to their self-concept, when it comes to their confidence, is knowing that daddy's going to be there, that daddy has their back. And so I've been fortunate with my mother and father to receive the love of family, and I think that's why I feel it's so important for me moving forward with my family.
It's very important for me that he makes his family a priority. I think along with that, I understand that football is his profession. So I'm here to support him in his profession. And so there's a lot of things that he can't be a part of, or he is not a part of during the season. And that's okay because we understand where he is. So what makes that easy is that I know when he doesn't have to do football, his priority is family.
This segment of Kirby Smart All Access is brought to you by Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Innovation that excites. Watson began his career in the NFL as the 32nd overall pick in the first round by the New England Patriots. He has also played for the Cleveland Browns, the New Orleans Saints, and now with the Baltimore Ravens. But Benjamin always had a passion beyond the game.
Benjamin has been writing for a long time. And I think part of the importance of me being his wife is finding out really when he's not playing football, what do you like to do? He's been playing it for, as long as he can remember. So it's sometimes hard for him to think, okay, if I wasn't playing football, what would it be? So I think for our 10 years of marriage, it's been me trying to figure out what that is. And I have always seen him go back to writing. I remember getting him his first the laptop and, encouraging him to put everything in one place. And so he is very much doing what he has always been doing. And so for me as his wife, it's nice for me to see that come to fruition in a way that other people can enjoy what he enjoys doing.
I never thought I would write a book. The funny thing is, I had been thinking about writing a book for a long time, but the concept and the idea of writing a book was just so overwhelming. I mean, how do you put together a book, for God's sake? I've known people who have done it, but I'm like, I could never do that. And so I always write. I've written from time to time over the course of my career, just little blogs here and there that I have on my computer, some of which I put out on social media, but a lot of stuff I just have sitting there that I just kind of fleshed out some of my thoughts. But it just shows how God just has, it's his timing.
Though Watson never expected to write a book, he felt the call to do more and knew it was time for his voice to be heard.
When he believes something, he goes for it. And so when he became a husband, he was all in. When he became a father, he was all in. So there's no limit to what he thinks is, okay, now I'm good. There's always something else he can be doing.
There are things in your life that you may accomplish that you never would have dreamed of. And there are things that are going to come to you, and doors are going to be open to you that have nothing to do with you. One thing my wife always says is, Benjamin, it's not about you. It's not really about like what you think something's supposed to look like or what you think your life is supposed to be. It's about him getting glory through your obedience. and you never know what's going to happen, what opportunity is going to open. So no, I never thought I'd write a book specifically about this topic or a book period. But it's really been an exciting adventure.
Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Innovation that excites. This segment of Kirby Smart All Access is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, low prices every day. On November 25th, 2014, Watson made a decision to put his thoughts down in writing.
If you remember Ferguson, it happened around August of 2014. We were in training camp. It had been a hot summer when it came to just these types of police-citizen altercations, a lot having to do with black males. There's just a lot going on for those 2 years leading up. And so the Ferguson incident happened, and then the decision didn't come until November. So you had a few months there. And we actually played the Baltimore Ravens that night, of all teams. and that night after Monday night game, we lost to the Ravens, and that's when I found out about the Ferguson decision. And over that day, wrote that post. Fast forward about 4 months or so, and I was approached about writing the book, and things really happened really quickly.
So when I found out it was going to become a book, well, first of all, when I found out it was the Facebook post, I didn't know he'd even posted it. We were talking about it throughout the day, but I didn't know I saw him on his phone. I know he does notes on his phone, but I didn't really think anything of it, because that's how he generally flushes out his feelings and what he's going through. So when I didn't even see the post. I just got messages, like my phone just blew up. And I said to him, "Did you put something on Facebook?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, well, it's really popular because everybody is calling me. So I didn't even know, but just to see the reaction of the post was really tremendous for me to say, that's my man. I was really proud of him for pressing send and deciding to put it out there for people to see and chew on and agree with and disagree with. So when I got the news that it was becoming a book, I was very, very proud of him, because I know writing is something he has a passion for, but his way of communicating and his way of including people but still saying truthful things, I think is his gift, is one of his many gifts.
I was approached by really a literary agent about the possibility of turning this whole thing into a book, and I said, well, yeah, let's do it, because the feedback was so tremendous. I mean, from really around the world. It was really unexpected. And so the crazy thing about the book was, usually, I'm new to this whole book thing. So I know it takes a while to write a book. So usually it takes a good year. This book, since it was such a hot topic, I think, we decided to expedite it. And I literally signed the book deal, and then 2 or 3 months later, we had the manuscript. Wow. In the meantime, though, even when I didn't even have the book deal, I had already kind of started fleshing out my thoughts. And so the book is, as you know, an expansion of the Facebook post. But over those months after the Facebook post, when I was on an airplane and when I was just sitting, I would just start writing about my grandfather or my grandmother, or just my thoughts on different topics. So I had a good amount of work there, kind of had a great skeleton. And then I joined up with a writer. And he pulled a lot of other stuff out of me that I didn't know I even had. And then in such a quick time, we had a book that released last year.
I was very excited for it to be put into print. And as I was reading it, I was, trying to be very okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this, and I'm gonna, read it from a person who may not agree with what he's saying. And I walked away from reading the book just very, very proud that I don't think he held anything back. I think he spoke truth and love. And I think you get a glimpse to the person that I see all the time.
Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, low prices every day. This segment of Kirby Smart All Access is brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Each new decision creates a wake. There has been positive and negative feedback about the book. It is a controversial subject to talk about. It is a subject that divides many people. So why would Watson feel called to write about these issues?
No, I didn't plan on it. It was just, I guess, a lifetime of listening and hearing and thinking and having conversations about things that, just a matter of getting it on paper. And that's what the Facebook post did. That's what God did through it. He allowed me to have a chance to speak about this issue that is, I think, very, very important, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon.
It might seem courageous to put it out, but it really is who Benjamin is. So a part of me is not surprised that he took the step to do it. I'm just more honored that he would do it more than I am surprised.
Your experience is simply that, your experience. And so if your experience is one where you don't feel like there is racism anymore, that could be 100% true. But it's important to understand that that's not everybody else's experience. And if you're in an experience where you think that everybody is racist, that's not true either. There needs to be some grace there as well. And so the book writing process was exciting. I think that, it's fun to go and even though I don't like talking in front of a lot of people, I think this topic is one that I've been able to have a voice in. I've been able to kind of draw people together who may have otherwise had their backs turned to each other.
AT&T, mobilizing your world. This segment of Kirby Smart All Access is brought to you by Hyundai, proud supporter of college football and loyal fans everywhere. Benjamin Watson has a long list of things to be proud of, to be remembered by. But what does he want his legacy to be?
Benjamin is really humble, and I'm proud of him when he's able to communicate truth in a tough situation. It'd be much easier for him to say, we should all just, love one another, and, it'd be easy for him to do that without saying the name Jesus at all, because that is a turnoff to a lot of people. And he probably would have sold more books, quite frankly, if that wasn't the answer. But I am proud of him that he stands up for what he believes. He stands up for truth, and that he wants to be a vessel for Jesus Christ. That is before my kids and me being proud of my kids. But seriously, the fact that he will not waver on that, even in tough rooms where I'm like, is he going to say it? Is he going to say it? And he does, boldly but respectfully. And it always makes me very proud of him when he does that.
We only have a short time on this earth. We only have a short time in college. It's only 4 years, maybe 5, sometimes 3, if you're really good. And so we only have short little stints with people. In my NFL career, I've been places for 6 years, 3 years, and now I'm going to Baltimore. I know how long I'm going to be there. But I want people to remember, obviously, that I was a good ball player. That I did my job well, that I prepared, that I gave my all, that I was a team player, that I contributed, that I was dependable, all those things. But I want people in general to know me as someone who loved the Lord, someone who followed the Lord, that someone who had standards in his life, and even though he never attained them spiritually, that's how he tried to live his life. Somebody who was compassionate and somebody who was a leader, someone who loved other people and cared about other people, and someone who was willing to sacrifice for other people. When I get done with this whole ride, I want the Lord to say, well done. And, it's not going to be as well as it could have been, but I want him to say, well done, that I served him well.